It is I, the hidden hand responsible for everything going on in Fromland, JH of the 𝐒𝐻Review. Welcome to another From Town Hall meeting. Today we have to discuss these episode titles and guides. Seems like the final titles here. And as the music fades out, welcome. Make sure to slap that like button. Now that you have slapped the like button, and I know you have subscribed. If you don't,
you nail the motherfucking window shut, Frank.
We don't want you to get slapped now. Come on. All right, guys. So here today, I'm going to be going over the episode details of each episode. I've looked over them and took the risk so you don't have to. I will say that they're not spoilerific. I wouldn't think that they would put any information out that would just grossly spoil the show. So I highly doubt that. So I didn't have a problem going through them. But I will say it does kind of put a timeline on things that have been going on in, as far as theorized in the community, when Tabitha may come back, the pregnancy with Fatima. I said that they are going to drag the pregnancy out, and it looks like that's going to happen from these episode details. I would like for them to kind of stretch out the eventual reunion of Tabitha coming back to town, getting back with her family. But then I realized this isn't Lost. We don't have 24 episodes. We're not going to get a greatest reunion of all time, i.e. Sun and Jin, if you're familiar with the Lost universe. But anyway, this isn't Lost. This is From, right? But I do have some more From Lost coming. Got some new comparisons. Had some inspiration. Man, I've been in this Facebook group. I'm going to share it to my community page. It's a From group on Facebook. It's fire. I've been in there the past week or two, causing havoc. But anyway, so with that being said, let's get into these episode details, shall we? I do notice that some of these have been moved around from the initial list that came out that I went over in my last video, well, a couple videos ago, episode titles or something like that. I thought I had it ready already. Give me a second, guys. I'm all over the place. All right, episode 1, Shatter. I don't think this was an episode title. Shatter was not here. When We Go was episode 1. Mousetrap was episode 2. I think Thresholds was 6. 8 and 9 were supposed to be Revelations, and 10 was a question mark, but 10 is now Revelations chapter part 2. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and get into this. Episode 1, Shatter. And on this channel previously, I've always had this theory that like it's something about glass. I'm just gonna play this small clip since we're already talking about it. And I'm pretty sure some of you probably have seen me talk about this before, but for those of you who are new, sit back, watch the video, and you tell me what you think.
I know this story about the little girl in a room filled with broken glass. She knows the broken pieces used to mean something. She knows there's something they must have been. But all she can see are the shards.
It's a way of reorienting my perspective. I'm trying to find a different way to look at this symbol.
But she keeps on trying. She keeps trying because she knows there's an answer. She knows there's a shape they used to make.
Sarah.
I hear their voices. And it's just like the broken glass.
That was something about glass. I just think there's something about glass. We saw the the clip I had with Sarah talking to Nathan, of course, Jade putting the glass pieces together, trying to conjure up something in his mind. Then you had the tower. I noticed a couple panels of glass were broken. You got Tabitha being pushed out the glass. I just think I really don't have enough to go off of it yet, but And then this episode is called Shatter, so glass shatter, right? But anyway, maybe because somebody is about to be broken, right? Shatter. Boyd feels the town slipping away from him as the weather grows colder and the residents more desperate. So we're going to go ahead and be getting the seasonal change here, episode 1. Is this where everything happens as far as the monsters, the ambush? Doesn't look like till episode 2, I would guess. When we go, this got to be the episode when Kenny's mom will meet her fate. She's up out of here. Boyd struggles to find a path forward as the town says farewell to one of their own. One, not two. One person is going to be in that barrel, right? But there are some people that think that there's 2 bodies. I think it's 1. Fatima's health takes a turn for the worse. Tabitha finds help from an unlikely ally. So I'm guess this is the episode where she meets possibly Victor's father or whoever the guy is in the basement she's talking to. Episode 3, Mousetrap. Kenny leads the group into the forest in search of food. Donna and Ellis try to talk to Boyd out of a dangerous plan. What could that be? What would be going on that Boyd would figure up a dangerous plan? I can't think of anything right now. Okay, we got Kenny going into the forest. Okay, I guess that's kind of dangerous, right? Donna and Ellis try to talk to Boyd out of a dangerous plan. Nothing's coming to me right now. Tabitha makes a mind-bending discovery. Just the guy is Victor's father. Maybe finds Eloise. Who knows? I still think we're finding Eloise this season. Fatima questions the welfare of her unborn baby. Okay. Episode 4, there and back again. Boyd is forced to make a tough decision when newcomers arrive in the town at nightfall. I think now, eventually what I thought is okay, new people are coming in town. This kind of sends people into a frenzy, which kind of sets them up for the monsters to come and kind of ambush everybody. I'm thinking all this is happening in the same episode, which will be episode 2. But it seems like these are 2 separate events. Kenny's mom is going to meet her fate in episode 2 when they get ambushed by the monsters for whatever reason. Assuming, because of the food is gone. But yeah, here it says the newcomers arrive at episode 4. So we're going to see the EMT and the cop. And I guess I'll go ahead and throw it out there. I watch Teflon. Everybody watches Teflon. Come on, man. I watched his stream a couple days ago, and they were saying that Tabitha is going to be in the ambulance with the officer who's taking her back, and they, run into the tree. I could see that happening. Or they could be they could be transporting a random prisoner, and now Fromville has a maniac running around that just got out of jail. That was going to jail or something like that. Man, let's make that happen. But anyway, I could see Tabitha coming back in the ambulance though. Not the way I would bring her back. I personally would like her to either get back with Eloise with the help of her. That's the way I would think it would happen. And then we get a reunion of Victor, Eloise. I was thinking along those lines, but okay, she can come back in the ambulance or whatever. Um, Victor unearths memories from the past in the hopes of finding answers, and he's gonna be digging up something again. When Victor starts digging up stuff, bad things happen. All right, The Light of Day, episode 5. Victor must face a painful reminder of his past. Are we finally gonna see what happens in full as far as the massacre? Maybe, possibly shed some more light on that. Julie looks for ways, or even maybe how his mom died, maybe. But anyway, Julie looks for ways to cope with her trauma. Now, I did say, I believe it was on the past town hall meeting about Randall and him saying there are things worse than death. And I said they're going to be dealing with trauma. The three, right? Marielle, Julie, Randall, they're going to be dealing with that trauma. This is not going away. You just don't wind up in some interdimensional space, possibly being tortured, and you forget about it. They probably remember what happened. At least I think that would be a great plot point for them to reminisce of what was going on when they were chained up in the dungeon. So I think that's going to be going on. So yeah, Julie's going to be coping with her trauma. Boyd struggles to keep the town safe. As you know what? Let me go back. I'm sorry. I knew I was skipping something. Boyd is forced to make a tough decision when newcomers arrive at nightfall. There and back again, episode 4. Okay, maybe there's a strain on food resources. So, why are we going to be bringing in more people when we're already struggling as it is? So maybe, just maybe, we just let them get eat up, whoever these newcomers are. Just let them die, right? Something along those lines. I think it's gonna come down to that. I don't think it's gonna be, here's a rock, pick where you want to go. No, we don't have no more room for you. Go into the forest. Something like that. All right, back to Light of Day. Boyd struggles to keep the town safe as the residents begin to question his judgment. Okay. Tabitha tries to adjust to her new surroundings. It seems like Tabitha might be coming back in halfway. It's either got to be 5 or 6, or maybe 4, there and back again. Somewhere in those episodes, she comes back. But this could have a double meaning. New surrounding as, okay, she's in a real world somewhere. Knocking my mic. Or she's back in Fromland and things have not changed for the better anyway, and she's adjusting back to those surroundings. So that's really don't know what that means. Tabitha tries to adjust to her new surroundings. Episode 6, Scar Tissue. Fatima and Ellis make a big decision about her pregnancy. Boyd fears for the future of his family. Tensions rise in the Matthews house. Randall's opened up to Mariel about fear. There's that trauma again, right? Tensions rise in the Matthews house. I'm thinking Tabitha may be back at this point. And if I'm not mistaken, did Tabitha tell Jim where she was going to the lighthouse, or did she just leave off? I figured they might get into it about her just leaving and going to the tower and disappearing or something like that, but I can't quite remember. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be all sunshine and rainbows when Tabitha and Jim get back together for some reason. Maybe that's what that means, unless Jim is getting into it with Julie, maybe. So that's all I can get from that. It's got scar tissue. Episode 7, These Fragile Lives. The edges begin to fray as concerns about Fatima's pregnancy deepen. See, we still talking about I want to say Fatima so bad. Fatima. Pregnancy deepen. So at this point, episode 7, episode 8, I'm gonna tell you where I think she's gonna have this baby. Jade follows a clue trail into the forest. So here we go. Jade going to find some more clues about these dirty ashy kids, right? Julie and Randall seek a bit of normalcy. I don't like the way this sentence sounds. Of course, Randall's too old for Julie, right? Julie's supposed to be like 17, 16, something like that in this series. I don't know. That sentence just sounds weird. But once again, the three trying to cope, getting together, right? So yeah, it's gonna be some trauma bonding going on between the three. Episode 8, Thresholds. This is where I think Fatima is going to have a pregnancy. Thresholds of pain. That's what I think thresholds means, or it could have a double meaning. But the main meaning I think is pain. Accusation starts flying and truths come into light in the aftermath of a tragedy. Okay. Victor struggles to recover long buried memories of the town's past. Once again, like I said earlier, it could be something about the massacre, maybe. But anyway, we're definitely going to be getting some flashbacks. Julie and Ethan search for answers about the mysterious ruins in the woods. Mysterious ruins in the woods. Ooh. Julie and Ethan going out into the woods alone. What? Oh man, don't do that. I'm not sure what ruins we talk. Are we talking about the? Could she be trying to go back to the dungeon? Maybe that's the only thing I can think about. Ruins, the ruins they're talking about. Okay. Episode 9. Revelations, chapter 1 and chapter 2 say the same thing. The residents of a small town search for a way out when unknown forces keep them from leaving. At first glance, you would think this is a placeholder. A placeholder, can't talk. Could be, or it says the residents of a small town, So we're not talking about our residents. We're talking about other residents of a small town. I think this is going to be a flashback episode, and possibly we're going to be getting some origins of Fromland. Maybe the monsters. Could be, who knows? Could be talking about during Victor's time, but we're same place, different time, different people. That's what I think that means. Or it could just be a placeholder, so they don't give away the episode. So with that being said, that was all episodes to come. 10 episodes. I wish they would bump it up to maybe 15. Wouldn't hurt. Come on, MGM, help a brother out. But anyway, so yeah, my final predictions. After this, I have no more predictions for this. I do want to talk about I asked in the community section, is the barn and I guess the ambush happening at the same time? At first I thought it was, but now I don't think so. I do think episode 2, when we go, Kenny's mom is going to be up out of here, right? She's going to meet her husband, right? I can see her going out Father Kotry style. I don't see her in a barn being tortured and Boyd saying, "You're so strong." It doesn't make sense to me. I can see Fatima having this baby, or possibly getting a monster C-section, and Boyd saying, "You're so strong," right? you gonna have this baby, right? And then they might take the child. I think the child is a vessel for whatever entity is going on here. So that's what I think that's gonna come to. Will Fatima survive? That I don't know. I'm feeling 50% fatality rate right now. Other than that, yeah, that was the main thing I wanted to pretty much finalize there. Any more depths I can see? Marielle is on my wish list, so I think one of the three is gonna die. So Marielle, you're expendable. Oh yeah, Christy is gonna get caught in that bear trap. So it's got to be on Mousetrap, right? So Christy, she's gonna be in a bear trap. I don't know if she's gonna be getting eaten alive by cannibals, but we shall see on that. Other than that, those are the kind of the major ones I like to throw out right now. Tabitha, I see her coming back mid-season. That's probably gonna be the mid-season, like the mid-season hook. And another question I wanted to ask is, last year, episode 6 was the big episode, the most hype one anyway, where Smiley, met his fate, right? What do y'all think this year's big episode is gonna be? Are we sticking with 6? Is it gonna be episode 8 or 9? I'm looking forward to those revelations, man. We're gonna be getting some answers. But we're only gonna be getting more questions. I hope y'all know that. But with that being said, I think that's it, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Let me cue my music up so we can go ahead and jam out. This has been another From Town Hall meeting. If y'all enjoyed this episode, please make sure to smack that like button. Now that you have hit the like button, I know you subscribe, comment your comments, theories down below. And we're almost there, y'all.
All I know is that it's real, and I'm fucking terrified.
See y'all later, man.